So who's Mike Filsaime? If you don't know Mike, he began his internet marketing career in 2002. That's like, I think dinosaurs were still around on the internet at that point, right? I mean, I'm not even going to read his bio because he speaks for himself. And his success speaks for itself. He is one of the most well-respected business people, gentlemen, in the world. There is any internet conference, you say the name Mike Filsaime, people know who he is because he creates phenomenal products that sell, okay? Big difference between creating phenomenal products and creating phenomenal products that sell, okay? You can spend all the time in the world that you want creating phenomenal products, but if they don't sell, well, you're shooting in the dark. Mike Filsaime creates products that sell. He understands this industry as well as anyone you will ever meet. Get back on your feet. Let's make some noise for Mike Filsaime. All right, my man.
Thank you. Can we hear me? We're good? Wow, thanks, Steve. Honored to be here. I told Steve I don't speak very often. I usually speak about once or twice a year, and it's rare for me to speak. Years ago, I was speaking so much that I was on the road or in a hotel room about 60% of the year. It was a little tough for me to do my business, so I said I was going to no longer do platform speaking, and I would speak maybe once or twice a year just to do strict content. So Steve and I did an interview. I bonded with him very, very much on that call, and he asked me to speak, and I said it would be a pleasure and an honor. So especially with the good group of people. 29 speakers in 3 days. Are you guys getting some good content or what? Absolutely. You want some more good content? All right, wait for the guy after me. Just kidding. I promise this will be good content. Phenomenal products that sell. Thank you, Steve. That's a very, very good segue into what we're going to go into. So what we have here, the presentation can be found at, you want to write this down. I promise you, there's going to be a lot of content on these slides. And if you hear somebody say, can you please repeat that or go back, then you know that they got in the room late. Because you know that this slide is available to you right at that URL. You just type that in, it's going to redirect to a PowerPoint on Google Docs. No opt-in, no nothing. It's yours. All right? You're welcome. Okay, let's see if this works. Just a minute, guys. We're syncing this up. I'm going to be talking about the offer, okay? So about 7 years ago, 2005, I'm on a call hosted by Mark Joyner. He's got some of the world's best copywriters on there. Gary Benzavenga, David Garfinkel, Gary Halbert, and John Carlton. Any of you guys know those names? How about Gary Halbert? Leave your hands up if you know who Gary Halbert is. Okay, if you don't, make sure to go do a search about him and learn as much as you can about Gary Halbert. He's one of the legends in direct marketing and direct mail. So I had an opportunity, along with some other marketers, to grill these copywriters. And there were about 1,000 people on this call, and I'm on there with 3 other marketers, and we're doing a contest on copywriting. So there was a product launch that had just gone out, and there was a copywriter named Michel Fortin, and he was talking about the headline and how important it is to test the headline. We've all heard that, right? That it's so important to test the headline. So I thought I knew that I had the answer to the question that I was going to ask these guys. So I picked Gary Halbert, and I threw a couple of things in my question just to make it seem like I wasn't sure, but I was pretty sure I knew the answer. So I said, my question is for Gary Halbert. Gary, if you're going to test something, what would be the first thing that you would test? Would you test the colors of the page background? Would you test the fonts? People used to talk about that back then, testing Times New Roman and Tahoma. Good. Or I said, would you test the headline? Pretty sure I know what the answer was going to be. And if anybody knows anything about Gary Halbert, the guy doesn't hold back. You know, his calls are going to be PG-13 if we're lucky. So I'll hold back the expletives, but Gary was like cheese and rice, you know, for lack of a better word. Cursed a little bit and said, I'm sick and tired of everybody talking about the headline. That is not what you test first. And I'm now a little embarrassed because I invited my entire list to be on this call. He says, the first thing that you test is the offer. And you heard me on the call, I said, oh. And inside I said, I have no idea what he's talking about. I really didn't. I didn't know what it meant to test the offer. It took me about 3 or 4 years to understand what Gary meant about testing the offer. So if you talk to somebody and you ask them, what's your offer? Usually they'll tell you a quick nutshell about what their product is and that it sells for $47. And what I'm going to go over today for you is something that will truly help you understand the offer. Okay? So we'll move forward. Okay, so the myth. Remember what Steve said? Mike Filsaime creates phenomenal products that sell. And if you have a phenomenal product that doesn't necessarily mean it'll sell, well, that's the myth. If you build it, they will come. The fact is that a good product is the foundation of a good offer. However, a good product will not market itself. Recently, we did a launch for a product called Little Fish Blueprint. Any of you saw the promotions for that? A few hands in here. Wow, what opportunity. We did that offer 3 times. The first 2 times were colossal failures, big flops. The third time, we were able to move 7,000 DVDs in 14 days. Same product. It's a great product, by the way. What changed? The offer, the positioning, the hook, all the things I'm going to go over for you today. One other thing to remember, good marketing and a bad product only makes the bad product die faster. So if you have a good offer and good marketing and you didn't lay down the foundation and have a good product, it's only going to die very, very quickly. Your customers will burn you in social media. So finally, proper marketing and sales plus a good product is a winning offer. You need both. So I'll let you guys take all the information you're going to get from these great speakers this weekend and use that to create a good or great product, and then you could use this with creating a great offer. So before you create your offer, you want to know the sophistication of your market. It's very important how you position your offer, knowing the sophistication of your market. There's a book called Breakthrough Advertising by Eugene Schwartz. It's a great copywriting book. And he talks about the 5 phases of your market. He says, first ask these 3 questions. What is the mass desire that motivates your market? How much does your market know about your product? Their state of awareness, right? Some people are in the health niche and everybody knows that you're going to lose weight, and some people have a product that the market doesn't know they want yet. And it's your job to inform them. Number 3, how many similar products have they been told about before? What's their state of sophistication? So, knowing that, stage 1. Stage 1 means you're first to the market. You're dealing with prospects that have no sophistication about your product at all. Okay? A good example of that was the iPhone, right? Apple reinvented the phone. That's what Steve said on stage. And there was no competition, and he basically says, here's iPhone, here's what it does, and everybody wanted it. Okay? What was he? He was simple, he was direct, and nothing more. When you're first to the market, you can be simple, direct, you don't have to worry about competition. So if you were in the health niche and you were the first person to ever go into this market, you could have a simple ad like, lose ugly fat now. So what happened a year after the iPhone? What came out? Android, right? That created a new position. Android was second to the market. Now, you might be second to the market, or you might be the first to the market, like iPhone, and have somebody else come in second to the market. Either way, the positioning of your offer and your advertising and your message has to change. Your competition, well, we just went over that. Second bullet point, copy the successful claim that you had before, but now expand on it. So, lose up to 47 pounds in 4 weeks or receive $40 back. I'm 61 pounds lighter, never hungry for a minute. Okay, so now we have to expand a little bit more on our claims, and we have to talk a little bit more about the benefits. Stage 3, massive competition. The word is getting out. More and more people are hearing that there's a new market, and everybody wants a piece of it. BlackBerry's changing their operating system. Palm tried to do it. They got bought out by HP. Windows Live. So now, it's competition. Your prospects have now heard all the claims, all the extremes. Every time they open a newspaper, another similar headline screams out at them. However, the desire fades, and new people are, even though the desire is fading, new people are still coming into the market. So it's not a dead market. As the example says with mortgage loans, there's always people that are going to be turning 18 that are going to need a house, but there's a lot of people bidding for that business. So here you need to introduce a new mechanism. Here the emphasis shifts on from what the product does to how it works. First wonder drug for losing fat. Moving on, complete saturation. Believe it or not, I was able to actually witness these stages go right through in the industry that I'm in the internet marketing and information marketing industry. I probably got in right around stage 2. And I've seen it come out to about stage 4, stage 5, which we'll get to in just a minute. Stage 4, complete saturation. You must now elaborate and enlarge upon the successful mechanism. Make it easier, quicker, allow it to solve more of the problem and overcome old limitations, promise extra benefits. First wonder drug for losing weight, for losing fat while you sleep. Okay? So again, we're focusing even more on how it works than what it does. And stage 5, your market is jaded and they're cynical. Okay, in the first bullet point you see me, it's where it says in green, win a free iPad. Years ago, something might have said win a free iPod, and we may have been interested. If you see that thing flashing on the side of a web page these days, we're jaded, we're cynical, and we know what's up. So that type of advertising is not going to work. Your market no longer believes in your advertising, and therefore no longer wishes to be aware of your product. They're blind to your claims. You're dealing here with the problem of bringing your prospect into your ad, not through their desire, but through identification. And this is how you know that we're in stage 5 in the internet marketing industry. Listen to the next paragraph. The strategy is the same. The emphasis shifts from the promise and the mechanism which accomplishes it to the identification with the prospect himself. Are you tired of all the diets and pills that don't do what they claim to? I too was tired of the lies. Or until I found this. Okay, so we see that now in, let's say, the information marketing industry. Can I get a bottle of water? Is there any water? Oh, excellent, thank you. We see that in the internet marketing industry. Are you tired of all the claims and the gurus and the software that doesn't work and promises that? That's a good sign that our market has hit stage 5. So it's important for you to understand and go back and review this and say, the market that I'm going into, what stage am I in, so you know how to position your offer. Okay, it's very important. Okay, what is the difference between marketing and sales? Well, marketing, that's the activities that generate prospects to your sales offer. So that's everything that you do that brings people in an online business to your website. Okay, that's buying the ads, that's doing ads on Facebook, that's search engine optimization, that's doing social media marketing, Google AdWords, solo mails, JV partners, right? That's your marketing. That's getting people to your website. Your sales offer, what is a sales offer? The sales offer is the most effective way of explaining your product or service to your prospects into a turning your prospects into a customer while maximizing your profits per sale. Okay? So that's your goal when they come to your website, is to take this prospect that your marketing brought to your website and turning them into a customer while maximizing the profit per sale. There's a lot of ways to do that. You could lower the price and increase profits because you sell more. These are the things that you'll test. The mechanics of a sales message. Number one, the sales medium. Okay? I think very often we have a person in my mastermind I was trying to explain this to. He, in my opinion, copied a popular sales medium of the ClickBank sales letter, which I hate, in the information marketing or the how to make money industry. It was very hypey. It had all the graphics. It was just, so rather than asking the right question, what's the best sales medium, he just said, I'm going to do what everybody else does. So the sales mediums, here are different ways that you could sell a product. Offline print sales letter, online sales letter, a video sales letter, which people refer to as a VSL. So if you ever hear somebody say, are you thinking of doing a VSL? They're talking about a video sales letter. And everybody's familiar with a video sales letter, right? So when you get to the page and there's no sales copy in text or print, and there's somebody giving you a video presentation or a narration of their offer. You can do a hybrid, and that's where you have the video on top and a sales letter below. A teleseminar is a great way to sell a product. A live webinar, automated webinar, a product launch with a pre-launch. In and outbound phone calls, stage presentations, or one-on-one in-person sales. So that's the mechanism that you first have to decide, what is the best sales medium for this particular product? So for instance, Little Fish Blueprint, the first time I went out, I tried it with an automated webinar. Didn't work. I tried it with a live webinar. Didn't work. Then I tried it with a third method that I'm going to show you later in the presentation. I'm going to give you a complete case study on it. Different medium was part of changing the offer that made it successful. I think many times people have their product, they're excited about it, they've worked on it for 2 years, they bring it to the market, and it fails, and they think that everything I've worked on my whole life is not going to happen. If it's a good product and you understand what makes a good offer, you still have a chance to revive it. Okay? Next is the sales process. Are you going to go from your marketing directly to the sales message? Or are you going to have a squeeze page before the sales message? What's your focus? Do you want to focus maybe on building the list a little bit more important than the message first and then follow up there? You can do a two-step process where your advertising tells people, call for a free brochure. And then when they call for a brochure, you mail them, they learn a little bit more about it, and then you follow up with a phone call. You can qualify leads with a front-end loss leader, where you sell a product so cheap that you're losing money on it, but it gives you a lead where you can monetize it through your sales funnel, which is a very, very popular business model, or a low-price front-end model. You can do free samples, free trials, pre-transaction upsells, and upgrades, and of course, following up with the prospect is all part of the sales process. And the post-sales process, this is important. We were able to bring, I'll keep things simple right now for the terms. In 14 days, we were able to triple our profits for every visitor by what we did with step 3 here, the post-sales process. Upsells, or continuity, or cross-sells, call centers, high-ticket products, live events, selling your other products, and following up with affiliate promotions, or following up even with that promotion to the prospects. These are a lot of the things that sometimes people just create their offer, and they leave it at that, and there's nothing else after the customer comes to the website and doesn't buy. Or if they buy, there's nothing else that happens after they make that payment. And you can triple your profits if you pay attention to that part of the process. All right? Different lead sources require different sales messages. Okay, you need to keep your sales offers scented with the same elements of your marketing or your ads. So, for instance, if your banners have a certain color, or they have a certain woman on the banner, you want to make sure that when they land on that landing page, that the colors are the same colors and patterns that you use in your banner advertising. The woman is the same woman. If there's a woman that looks like, she says, click to play this video, and it's just an ad, and then she goes, and there's a man talking on the website. It creates confusion, okay? You need a different landing page for different lead sources. Lead sources include your JV traffic, mass media, radio, Facebook, Google AdWords, and search. So I'm going to give you some examples of what I mean by that, okay? We have a webinar that we've been running now for about a year and a half. And we found that depending where we're getting our traffic, some of our landing pages that did so well with JVs were doing horrible on Facebook and vice versa. So here's one that a landing page that we used for radio. Okay, the radio ad and the jingle that's in this doodle video mimicked pretty much what they heard on the radio ad. So they heard something on the radio, and then they come here, and they're hearing something very similar to what the radio message was, then a little more benefit and a reason to opt in to get onto the webinar. In mass media, we focus a little bit different. I'll just go back so you can see the difference here. Here, we use a little doodle video, and here, we had credibility. We had me being featured on the news, and there were 3 different news stations that were talking about me, and then we went into like a PowerPoint type of message. Here's something called a pre-sale review. Of course, it has to be truthful. FTC comes down on a lot of these tactics from people that will do these things, and they don't have the real news stories, and they don't have real testimonials, and they don't have real claims. But sending somebody to a pre-review about your product makes your product more believable when they get to the next page. Here's another thing that we tested with certain types of mass media. Banner ads worked best with this. Okay, people didn't see with a banner ad, they don't have a frame coming into the landing page. They didn't hear a 60-second radio commercial. So coming here, they clicked on a banner. We wanted to get straight to the point with a headline, and we're slowing the process down a little bit more. This is a page that we use for our JV partners, just a little bit cleaner. And some of our JV partners wanted even more simple landing pages. Oh, I'm sorry. Here's one that we did for Facebook. Facebook advertising, you can't have a $sign anywhere on your landing page, and you can't promise making money. So here I shot a completely different video, and I just said I'm giving away free training, and there's no promise about any making money. And this is a softer form that works very, very well with our JV partners. It's just, it looks like a traditional webinar page. What are we going to learn on the webinar? What are the bullets, and where do we register? Okay? So let's talk about the story structure. All right? If you're in stage 1, 2, and 3, as we went over before, it's new, or there's, you're just starting to get competition, you can go with a direct hook. And I'll explain that by going in contrast here with something called cheese versus whiskers type of hook. And that's something that works very well in stage 4 and 5. Anybody in the room know Dean Jackson, Joe Polish? Right? Great. They've spoken about cheese and whiskers. And basically where it comes from, the whiskers is a cat. So a mouse will spend 2 days trying to gnaw through a wall if it smells cheese on the other side of that wall. However, if it so much as smells a cat or even a whisker, it'll hide and it'll starve to death rather than eat the cheese. Okay, so in stage 1 or stage 2 and parts of stage 3 in your marketing, you can go straight with a direct hook. Lose weight. Okay? When you get to a market where people are completely, just jaded or cynical, or like they're blind to the free iPad, that type of thing, you need to go with cheese. Because if your landing page has a cat on it, your prospect, the mouse, is just going to completely run away. Just picture a flashing screen with little green bulbs flashing saying, win a free iPad. What if you could really win a free iPad? How would we get our message across? We'd have to use cheese instead of whiskers. So I'll give you an example. The last product that we did was called Little Fish Blueprint. I can guarantee you there's not a single person in this room that has any idea what their product is unless they went through the marketing. And that was the exact purpose. The product is on local marketing. But if I would have called it local marketing arbitrage or something like that, if that was in the subject line, the email may not have gotten opened. Or if it was in the email, somebody might not have clicked the link if they have any preconceived notions about what local marketing is. And we felt that a lot of people think that local marketing means that you have to leave your house, get in your car, and go talk to the people at the Midas muffler shop. A lot of people don't know that you could live in Costa Rica and have your clients in Atlanta and LA and New York, and you never have to leave the house. So we felt it was better in a market where people already had preconceived notions about our product to go in with a hook. And our hook was the little fish out there. There are, the Fortune 5 million. There are millions of these Main Street businesses out there, the cleaners, the chiropractors, the doctors, the dentists, the lawyers, that know their trade very well, but they don't know how to get ranked in the search engines. They don't know how to get leads on the internet. They're paying $6, $7 per click and not even getting any results from that. So we felt that we would be better off creating a hook called the little fish, going after these little fish that actually aren't so little. And we used images with, 5,000 fish in a school being cast up by a net. And then at this point, the curiosity worked enough to get the people on our page, get engaged with the video. We can talk about who Matt is. Matt's my partner in the project, how he's making money, and he was able to debunk the myths before anybody bounced off and saw the word local marketing. Okay? So does that make sense? Okay. I'll give you just one more quick example. I have a product, my webinar that you saw, I was showing different slides, about 7 different slides. My hook there was all cheese. I wanted to hook people in, and I called it the franchise model secret. And the positioning was, I showed a deli that was closed on an image over here, and over here I showed a Subway. And I said the same entrepreneur, if he opens up a deli, there's an 80% chance that he's going to be out of business within 5 years. If the same entrepreneur opens up a Subway, there's a 95% chance that he's going to have success. Same entrepreneur, probably selling sandwiches that aren't as good as the one that went out of business. So what is it that the franchises that are doing, that people that just go into business without a business model, what are they doing that's different? I'm going to teach it on this webinar. That webinar allowed me to get people interested in that hook, that cheese, and then I transitioned into my offer. If I came right out and went to a whiteboard and said, hey, come on a webinar, I'm going to show you how you can give away free discs and get people onto a continuity program and put them through an upsell process, people might have been, well, I think I've heard all of this before, and may never have gotten on the webinar. Okay? Again, I'm in a level stage 4 and stage 5 market. I have to do more of that. Okay? Your story structure needs an intro. You have to bring up the problem. You have to show how you solve the problem. In many cases, you need to do a demonstration and the close. We'll get into a little bit more of that. And, as Leslie said the other day when we were talking, you need to make it clear what is the problem and what the problem is, and let me just read that again. What is the problem you are going to solve and how your product does it? It's very clear. I was talking with Joseph. Joseph, you're in the room, right? Yeah. I was talking with Joseph outside. This is what I was explaining to you outside. We need to make it very clear to someone, not about features, not about benefits. What is the problem you're going to solve, and how does it do it? Okay? Crucial elements of the offer. Proof. And the next one I'm going to talk about is social proof. And I guess it's one of my little pet peeves that not many people know the difference between proof and social proof. And because we hear social proof used so much, everybody uses the word social proof a lot, I should say, when they're talking about proof. They'll say, yeah, you need to put screenshots or income screenshots on your web page for social proof. That's not social proof. I'll get to that in a minute. That's just proof, and it's an important element of your sales letter. Proof is screenshots, testimonials, endorsements, media, and cited sources. A recent article in the USA Today says that there are 350 million iOS devices out there. Okay, social proof, I'll go over in the next slide. Anybody know what social proof is? You've heard the expression? Okay, I'll go over it for you. And this is a very important thing in marketing. So to give you an example, all things being equal, you're in a little downtown village, like let's say Port Jeff Station or Port Jefferson, New York, and you're right at the bay, and there's an ice cream shop here, and there's an ice cream shop right there. All things being equal. They look the same. This one has a line of 15 people standing outside of it, and this one has nobody there and just a person standing like this. Most likely, you're going to decide to get online where everybody else is, because social proof is something that we use to it's proof to us that if other people that are in our peers or that we identify with are doing something, then they probably know the answer. So based on social proof, I'm going to stand on this line because everybody probably knows that this is where the better ice cream is. Another example, you could be at Best Buy. Again, all things being equal, you have a salesperson that's talking to you about an Epson printer and an HP printer, and the features are the same, and the price is the same, and the warranty is the same, and you're not sure which way to go. And you say to him, well, which is the better seller? And he says, well, we sell about 300 of these a month, and we sell about 2 of these a month. So right there, you're going to say, well, I'll take the one where the 300 are being sold. No other proof, because we see that other people are making this decision. They probably know something I don't. All right? This is an example of my site, Evergreen Business System. So here we put just some of the top marketers who use Evergreen Business System. And we list some marketers there with their pictures. Do you remember the previous presentation? A lot of the sales pages had a lot of pictures of different people on there. That's a good use of social proof. I'll use social proof with my JV partners. In my JV emails out to my JV partners, I'll say something like, every top marketer who's a who's who in this industry is going to be part of this launch. And then I send them to my JV page, and I put a picture of all the partners. And then suddenly, if they don't see their picture there, they feel like they're not a who's who in the industry, and they want to be part of the launch just for that reason, because they want to have their picture up there. They're seeing all the other JVs on board. If so-and-so is on board, and so-and-so is on board, and so-and-so is on board, then that's reason enough for me to get on board. This is at a website called Crazy Egg. Crazy Egg is trusted by TechCrunch, HP, Sony. Well, if TechCrunch and Sony and Skype are using Crazy Egg to do their analytics, well then, it should be good enough for me. Here's another example. P90X. 3 million copies sold. They're using it right at their website as soon as you get there. 3 million people have bought this product. Well, obviously, it must be a good product. Brendan Bouchard. I don't know if you could see that, but what I highlighted was the section where it says likes. So you go to his product launch, and you see that 32,517 people liked this. Immediately, if you've never heard of Brendan Bouchard, do you suddenly you start thinking, well, if he has 32,000 people that like this page, then if somebody says he's a big deal, he probably is. Oh, and going back on that page there, Twitter followers. Blog comments. So sometimes, have you ever gone to a search engine, you type something in, and you see an article, and then you go down to the bottom, and it says, leave your comment, and there's no comments there? Yeah. And you kind of feel like, well, how in the world did I stumble on this? Was I the only person? Does anybody read this blog? And you go to a blog, and there's 700 comments, immediately think, wow, this person has some type of influence. He's an authority figure. Here we have MailChimp. 1 million users, 2.5 billion emails per month. They're using social proof. They have 1 million users already. That's pretty impressive. ClickBank uses it. I didn't highlight the section, but if you see the little thing that looks like the odometer underneath the navigation, that's a countdown timer as you go to the web page, and it ticks. and it says client earnings payout to date, $2,133,720,000, and then that last number just keeps rolling and rolling and rolling. That's social proof. Okay, credibility. If you've been featured in a magazine or a news station or a local news or anything like that, you want to make sure that you're using that either on your website, in your sales letters, or in your video sales letters. Next, authority. There's a quick example. My Facebook page, because for my brand, I want to establish myself as an authority. I was told the other day, they said, does anybody know who Armin Morin and Mike Filsaime is? And half the room raised their hand, and that means half the room didn't. Somebody told me that. They said, Mike, can you believe people don't know you? I said, that's a beautiful thing. I need new customers in the marketplace. And so when that person that's never heard about me comes to my Facebook page, this current image I'm using, I'll rotate it every month, I'm focusing on authority. Oh, here's Mike, he's a speaker. I should probably listen to what he has to say because there's other people paying attention to his every word. Risk reversal, or a no-risk claim. It's very important in your offer. When you're going through your presentation and you're coming up to the part where you're asking for somebody's money, that it is very clear to them that they have no risk at all. It makes it easier for them to engage in your offer. But even better than no risk is risk reversal. What the risk reversal means, everything is on me. So I'll give you an example of a beautiful risk reversal claim. My product sells for $497, but today I'll give you an opportunity to get it for $297 if you promise to use it. Tell one person, right? We've heard that on the infomercials. And tell one person about it. And if you have success, share your story with me. And I'm going to let you try my product free for 30 days. And if you like it, you'll be conveniently billed $297. But for any reason you don't like it, simply contact our help desk. You'll never have to speak to a human. And you will not be charged, and you can keep the product and use it in your own business. That's risk reversal. I put all the risk on me. That gives you the opportunity to get the product for free, use it, and never have to pay for it. And I had to pay for the shipping and handling to get it to you. All right? But do you see what a great offer that is, right? Isn't that a lot different than an add to cart button that says buy this for $297? What if we tested giving it away for free for somebody where they could use it for 30 days and then pay you 30 days later? And if they don't want to pay for it, they just tell you and they get to keep it. How many more people would that put in? So the first thing is, well, what about all those people that are, just buying it just so they could get it and they have no intention to pay it? At the end of the month, let's look at the numbers. That's the only thing that matters, right? We don't want to stand on principle. We want to know that one campaign brought in $3,000, one campaign brought in $7,000 profit. That's what we're going to determine which was a better offer. And I hope it's becoming a little bit more clear what an offer is with what I just went over before in that risk reversal scenario. Urgency and scarcity is crucial to an offer. Use real urgency and use real scarcity whenever you can. Okay? You don't want to just use urgency for the sake of urgency or scarcity for the sake of scarcity. But there's a reason why when you're watching QVC, there's a countdown timer, and when they say there's only 30 seconds left for the QVC special of the day, and all of a sudden the counter just starts rolling up like crazy. Or there's a reason why eBay bids go crazy in the last minute and they're very slow at the beginning. It's because something is coming to an end, and we go completely irrational when a countdown timer or, as in the book Influence, the Psychology of Persuasion, when he talks about scarcity, the law of the few. The less access we have to something, the more we want it, right? It's going to be a VIP party tonight, and all the cool people are invited. Am I on that list? I'm not sure. Let me see if I can get you on that list. Suddenly, we just want to get on just because it's exclusive. Okay, moving on. Trust. We've heard it before. People do business with people they know, like, and trust. But more importantly, People will not do business with people. They will not connect with Facebook. They will not give you their name and email address if they don't trust you. So it's very important that we make sure that our marketing has elements to show people it's okay to do business with us at our website. Privacy policies that talk in just normal language that says, we hate spam as much as you do. We'll never give your email address to anybody, and we won't spam you with crappy offers. You're starting to see people talk more like that. I don't necessarily agree with the Better Business Bureau seal, but some people think that's a good thing. Your page is secure seal, the business has been verified, privacy policy, things like that is very important. Also, on the bottom there, it says testimonials can be used for trust. Credible endorsements. If you have something that Oprah Winfrey said about you, or Tony Robbins, or Steve was just talking about the endorsement that he got from his book. I forget the speaker that he said, though. J. Conrad Levinson. What a great thing for people that know, a legend in direct marketing, and they hear from J. Conrad Levinson saying that this is the best marketing book there's been in 20 years. So Steve says, if he says it, I'm going with it. I agree. All right? A sincere, credible message. So here's an important one. Your message, your landing page, your design, everything in your marketing needs to make sure that you have the now factor. Okay? The now factor is important. Right now, you know what we're not thinking about? We're not thinking about the past, and we're not thinking about the future. When you're on a live webinar, in most cases, you're in a now scenario because you believe, or it is happening in real time. It's completely different than when you get to a video sales letter at 11 o'clock at night when you're trying to get to bed, and it doesn't tell you how long it is, and you're wondering, is this 7 minutes or 47 minutes? And there's no scrub bar, and they don't allow you to pause or do anything with the video. That's something that can frustrate somebody. So your message must be engaging to not allow the person to think about the past or the future. You want the person completely engaged in the moment. If at any part of your message you have somebody that's just not fully engaged in the now, and they're starting to think about the fight that they had yesterday or where they need to be in 20 minutes, they're just not into your message, and they're just waiting for it to end, okay? They must be in the present. Note, as we said, this is why stage presentations and webinars, phone calls work so well, okay? So an offer in a nutshell, perceived value, okay? They need to know what they are going to get and how they are going to get it. Sounds simple, but I talk to a lot of people, and I'll say to that question, what are they going to get, and how are they going to get it? Meaning, are you going to, what's in the course? How do you fulfill it? Is it going to be on DVD? Is it going to be in a download? Is it going to be a PDF? Is it going to be a book? Is it going to be live coaching, pre-coaching where they're listening to recordings? Is it going to be inside of a wrapped-up members area where there's video learning, live webinars? Okay? The packaging, the fulfillment, the feature product, and knowing how to separate bonus products from your offer is important. Many times people will just take their entire product and just sell it as a product, and I'll look at it and say, you have some key elements here that should be separated. Add value to both products, separate them. This is a $497 value, this is a $497 value, and make a separate part of your product the bonus on that sales page. And if you order today, you also get access to XYZ. No risk investment, the price or the cost, but you should use the word investment in your sales letters, in your sales messages. And the investment is what they're going to pay and how they're going to pay for it. I gave you a great example of that before. Sometimes people will just say, the price point is $497. Is there a payment plan? Have you tried a 5-payment plan? Have you tried giving it away for free for 30 days and letting them pay later, etc.? You really want to look at these things when you say, this is what I want to get from my product. You really want to look at that and say, well, this is what they're going to pay, but how can I make the offer interesting and how they're going to pay for it? okay? And a clear benefit, the end result. Okay, this is why before and after pictures work so well. Okay, and if you're focusing on your sales letter, and it's a health product, and you're listing out everything, and you're going to wake up at 8 a.m., you're going to eat, granola bars and grape nuts, and then you're going to go jogging, and then you're going to do 50 push-ups and 50 sit-ups, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Most likely, you're going to lose that person. What's the end benefit? This is what you look like. This is what you're going to look like when you're done with my product. This is the problem, and this is this is what you're going to look like. That's the end benefit. Very important. So we don't always want to focus on every element that they're going to be doing inside of with our product. We want to focus on the benefit that they're going to get, and with a specific amount of time. In 30 days, you should be able to have this up and running. A winning offer knows a targeted prospect buys when they find something they need or want, or they have been convinced with your message that they need or want it, and the value of what they are getting far exceeds the investment to obtain it. And this desire is turbocharged when you use scarcity and urgency, removal of the risk or risk reversal, and the initial access being little or no money, so free or free trial. This is a very important slide here, guys. It summarizes that previous offer that we had. So when you have your product, make sure that you're doing a great job. The best thing I can bring to example, a genius at this was Ron Popeil. You guys know Ron Popeil? He's on television, right? How much would you pay for this? Always asking the audience. How much would you pay for this? 500? 1,000? Wait, I'm not done yet. I'm going to throw in the Rotato and the paring knife and this, and you're probably still willing to pay 500, but I'm not done yet. I'm going to give this. At this point, he's making the value so big, and he's setting the price up that people are getting ready to pay for it. Well, they believe the price to be 500, but they're not ready to pay for it. I see why you'd want 500 for that. That makes sense, but I'm not a buyer. And that's where you've seen in sales messages, you've probably seen other products that sell for $500 that don't do half of what our product does. Well, we're not going to sell it today for 500. We're not going to sell it today for 400, not even 200, not even 100, not even $75, not even $49. We're going to give it to you today for just $39. But if you buy today, we're going to send you two so you can use one as a Christmas gift. And suddenly the offer is just like, somebody walks in and it's like, what are you doing? Why are you buying that? We don't need it, but it's such a good offer, I can't say no. Okay? That's when you have a good offer, all right? When your offers are doing that, okay? Getting people excited, okay? A good offer has a good sales process to maximize the profit at point of sale. Exit pops to capture the leads when they say no. Wait, don't leave empty-handed. Get this free report that shows XYZ, follow up with those people for different offers for your product. Maybe a downsell of your product, a little less for a little less money. If they buy the product, you also want to follow up, of course. All right? A well-thought-out checkout funnel, upsells, well-positioned upsells, not upsells just for the purposes of upsells, well-positioned upsells, downsells, and payment plans. This is something we did with Little Fish Blueprint. We went out strictly after the DVD. We had an offer for $497. You guys know Perry Belcher and Ryan Dice? Perry calls me and he says, hey, do you want to double your conversions? I said, yeah. Now, this is Perry Belcher, who I have a lot of respect for, but I didn't believe a single word he was going to tell me. And what he told me wasn't rocket science. He says, Mike, on the exit, if they say no and they close the page on your offer, just give them an opportunity to get the same product for 5 payments of $99. $497 product, or now they have an option to get 5 payments of $99. So if we were selling 10, now we were selling 10 of these and 10 at $99 a month times 5. Just like that, overnight. Put something on the page. But then what he told me was even more interesting. He said, Mike, you're going to have attrition. Not all these people are going to pay the $99. Credit cards are going to fail. They're not going to have money in their PayPal account, whatever the case is. He said, so what you do is you do something called a good faith offer after they pay the $99. So after they pay the $99, they land on another page that says, hey, we have a good faith offer payment program for you. You have 4 payments left. We'll waive the last 2 if you pay the other 2 now. So now we end up collecting 3 payments. They paid $99, they're paying 2 more. And 40% of the people that took the $99 option actually upgrade for this. So let's just break down those numbers. In the past, we had 100 people that bought our product. Now, we have 100 people that bought the product. We have another 100 people that pay for it at $99. We doubled our sales. Out of this group, this 100 here, 40 of them are going to pay an extra $200, and we're getting $300 right now, where before we had none of that. Okay? So these are things that you want to make sure that you're constantly improving in your sales process. That's one example. Follow-up mailings, follow-up calls, follow-up text messages, follow-up voice messages, different things like that can go into your system. You don't have to worry about getting this all in place right now, right? You have this document, you have access to it. Once you get your offer up and running, whether that's in a month or that's in 6 months or a year or tomorrow, you can go in and you can start adding these elements or testing these elements. All right? And of course, monetization in the members area. All my members areas have a link or a tab that says featured specials. And I work deals out with other marketers. And I say, hey, give me a 30% discount on your product and I'll put it in my members area. Or give me a free trial, give me something. Remember, you can only improve what you measure, right? So you definitely need to be testing, and you need to know your numbers. You need to know your metrics. You can't be shooting from the hip, all right? So you need to test offers first. Now, this is very important, and I'll read the next part. Only then can you optimize winners. So in my mastermind, somebody said, hey, I'm bringing out a new product. What do you guys like better, A, B, or C? And what this person was actually doing was giving an example of something that you would optimize. He had the same offer with 3 different headlines. And Matt Basak is in the mastermind, and he replied back and pretty much said the same thing Gary Halbert said. He said, I hate when I see this. I don't see why you're testing headlines. You need to be testing 3 completely different offers, completely different ideas of approach coming to the offer. And those are the elements that we were talking about here. Are you going to go risk-free trial? Are you going to try a different price point? Are you going to try a webinar model versus a video sales letter versus a sales letter? So you test the offers first. Because if you start out just testing, or not even testing, just starting out with one offer, rather than testing multiple sales mediums, as I showed you before, what's going to happen is you're going to get maybe, let's say, a 1% conversion, and now you're trying to go from a 1% conversion to a 1.1% conversion. And you're trying to take that from 1.1 to 1.2. If you start out testing offers, you might have 3 offers that all come around 1%, and one of those offers can be at 4%. That's the winning offer. And now you optimize that offer by split testing headlines and split testing video, autoplay, not autoplay, all those things. That's called optimizing, all right? You need tools like Google Analytics and split test software. I like Visual Website Optimizer. I think it's a pretty cool software. That's a split test software. You should track your web logs and your web stats in your cPanel. If you don't know what that means, just write it down. I promise you'll know soon. Track your clicks in the emails that you send out, and your open rates, and from your email, and those of your affiliates with your affiliate software. So you also want to see the clicks. Your affiliates are going to use your affiliate links. They have to in order to get paid. Your affiliate software will help you track the click-through rates, and then you can use that information to see how your offer is converting from different traffic sources. Don't get overwhelmed from this. This is something that you can refer back to. When your offer is up and running, you can come back. I promise you this will make a lot more sense to you then, if it's not now. All right, some terms you need to know, use, and understand. Okay, if you're going to be talking to your affiliates or you're going to be buying advertising, the people at the advertising agency and your affiliates are going to use these numbers for you. Okay? Have you ever seen the show Shark Tank? Okay. Don't you just love it when somebody comes up and they say, what are your margins? And the guy goes, 300%. And they go, good. And they write down. And then somebody else comes up and they'll be like, what are your margins? They're like, what do you mean? It's like, well, what do you sell the product for? And that scares the investors away because you don't know your numbers. That's going to scare your affiliates away. Well, a guy like you with your list, I'm sure, you could probably make, I don't know, a lot of money. What's the earnings per click? And if you don't know those things, you're going to look like that. You're going to be in front of a shark trying to do business with them, and you're going to get bit, right? So EPC means earnings per click. Basically, what that means is for every visitor to your website, how much money do you make? Or for every click on an ad, how much money is generated? Okay, and that's very simple. You take the amount of profit, let's say you're doing it for 30 days. Take the amount of profit divided by the number of visitors to the website, and that's your earnings per click. Okay, your DPL, or dollar per lead on the front end. This means how much money are you making once you acquire a lead? So I'll give you an example. The Little Fish Blueprint was something that we did by giving away a DVD for free if they paid the $5.95 shipping and handling. It cost me $5.95 to fulfill it, so I didn't make any money on the DVD. But when they went through the process after they bought the DVD and they saw the $4.97 or the 5 payments of $99 option if they exited, and if they didn't buy, I followed up with email and that whole thing, that's worth about $90 for every DVD. So somebody says to me, Mike, on your offer, what's your DPL? I'll say $90. And if they understand what I'm saying, they'll say, so what you're saying is for every DVD you give away, you're making $90? That's correct. And I'll show you in the last part here why that's important, especially when you're buying advertising. CVL, that's the campaign value per lead after the funnel, okay? LTV, lifetime value of the lead. After 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, a year from now, what is a lead worth to you? You track that. You track your lead sources. So you take a look at a campaign that you set up a tracking variable for, and let's say you call that Facebook advertising, and you then use your shopping cart to see. Your shopping cart will tell you how much money has been generated from that lead between this date and this date. And it's that simple. It'll tell you that lead, these leads are worth $77 per lead.
So it only matters if you have repeat buys.
Yeah. And there's a lot of things that come into play. If it takes you a year to get the money out of the people, and you're spending $1 to get a lead, but you're only bringing in, let's say, 50 cents, you're going to be losing money, but then you'll make money after a year. If your advertising blows up and you're spending $100,000 a day, you're only bringing in $50,000 a day. So you're going to lose $50,000 a day. You'll make money over 6 months, but who's got the money to lose $50,000 a day, right? So what we need to do is we need to go back into the funnel, and we need to start making sure. Remember, there was something in the presentation I said, maximizing profits at point of sale. We need to make sure the point of sale process is maximizing profits. Because now if I can get this advertising, this front end offer to break even, I'll spend $100,000 a day. Let's say you had the first $100,000, right? Take out a home loan or something. If it's going to bring in $100,000 in 3 days, and you buy another $100,000, and you bring in another $100,000, you're breaking even. But if you're bringing in, let's say, 10,000 leads a day, and each one of those leads are going to be worth $5 over a year. So you're just breaking even right now, but over time, that's going to start bringing in money. That's an extreme example. In most cases, people are looking to lose money up front and then make money within 30 days with different offers, okay? And that's only necessary when you really want to go mass market, When you want to go complete mass market, sometimes the traffic is pretty expensive to reach a broad demographic that you might have to lose money on the front end. But if you can make money after that, you have the keys to the castle there. All right, CPA, that's your cost per acquisition. That's what we were just talking about. So here's the example. Let's read it in normal terms. If your cost per acquisition is $5, that's what it costs you to get somebody to buy your DVD. It costs you $5 to get somebody to buy your DVD. And your dollar per lead is $4, then you lose $1 on your sale. But since your lifetime value is $15, you profit $10 in the long run. All right? And if that lifetime value scale is in 30 days, and that's really good. If you can get it to 14 days or 7 days, and that's really good because now you're going to lose a little money up front, you're going to make money on the back end. Okay? A good offer will understand these metrics. That's how you blow your offer up, guys. Please go back and review this. There'll be one day where you're going to say, I want to blow up this offer. You'll understand that maybe I've got to lose a little bit of money on the front end, but what if I sell 10,000 of my products a day? And I'm breaking even? That'd be great. You're acquiring 10,000 customers a day at no cost. And then you have a secondary offer where all your money is made. Question?
Could you just give us an example of what your offer would be? Like you said test offers. Like what kind of offers?
I just looked at the time. I have 27 seconds left and 3 more slides, so I'll answer questions after. I'm sorry, I just looked at the time here. Okay, case study, Little Fish Blueprint. We used a cheese hook, right? Little fish, rather than talk about local marketing. We used a 2-step process. Here's a free DVD that outlines all of the things, what you need to know. It's free. You pay the shipping and handling. After that, we had a DVD that shows them how to do it. Okay? The DVD video was 9 minutes. You can go to littlefishblueprint.com to see this. And then after that, there was a 30-minute update video sales letter. We broke even on the front end, and we made an extra $85 after the sale of that DVD. Scarcity was used in there. All right? Quick metrics. I'm going to go over this very quick. I just hit the 0 mark here. As I said, for every DVD we gave away, we made $91. But if you take out the cost of the DVD, you take out the attrition because there was a payment plan with the $99. Not everybody's going to make it. And there'll be refunds. We'll average $55 for DVD that we keep in our pocket. Our earnings per click, meaning every visitor that shows up at our website, if we can get a click, that puts $7.57 in our bank account, but then when we take out the refunds and the attrition and the cost of the DVD, every visitor that comes to our website is worth $4.60 profit. For every visitor that comes to our website, or for every 100 visitors that comes to our website, 8.2% of those people take the DVD. For everybody that takes the DVD, if we had 100 people take the DVD, 17% of the DVD buyers buy our main offer for $4.97. And what that translates down to on that offer, 1.41% of every visitor that comes to that website ends up buying our main offer. So, I have a mind map for you guys in a Google Doc that takes this Little Fish Blueprint and it gives you every URL on the campaign, the DVD URL, so you don't have to go out and buy the offer so that you could see all my upsells, downsells, everything. Okay? This is in a Google Doc. The PowerPoint link that I'm going to give you in the next slide, you'll be able to go get that PowerPoint and click this link. Again, there's no opt-in for it. You'll be able to see this mind map, and you'll see the exact structure of every link in the upsell, why we did it, what the conversion rate was, and you can actually type the URL in it and see my exact offer. Okay? Think you'll find that useful? Great. And again, if you came in the room late, you can get this presentation at tinyurl.com/the offer Filsaime. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy Armin Moore, and he's up next. Steve, thanks for having me. Thank you, everybody.